This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. That is Omaha's premier commercial real estate company. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing, residential and commercial roofing services. This is the only show you'll find that talks about buildings and construction, business expansion, and really anything related to making Omaha, Nebraska and environs a more prosperous and vibrant place. And without any further ado, it is time to introduce my co-host, who happens to be a legendary real estate deal maker, Trenton Magid.
Oh, you are too kind. Good morning, everyone.
Well, it's been a great week, and if you want to make it even greater this weekend, go to Nebraska Crossing. It's going to be 70-some degrees today and quite beautiful, so what better day is there to go out to Nebraska Crossing? Last week, Trent and I were there live in person at the brand-new Scarlet Highway Boutique store. We love the place. Both of us picked up some gifts for some special people in our lives, our moms. And we really like the place, and there's so much energy out there. And don't forget, sign up for your Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app. If you don't have it already, all you do is either get the Nebraska Crossing app. If you have that, refresh it so you have the latest version. Then sign up for Fast Cash. They'll have you put in a credit card. Then always use that credit card whenever you purchase something from Nebraska Crossing, and you get 15% cash back. It's just that easy. I use it all the time and love it. Well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They know mortgages, and as Trenton and I have documented very well over the last several months, it's a smoking hot housing market right now. When you go into battle, and it is a battle, you need to be armed with a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage. FHA, VA, conventional loans, they do all of that, and they have good people there that'll help you, coach you, guide you, and give you outstanding service. All right, Trenton, the big news this week is basically some intel we have about a big project happening at 72nd and Grover. This is MH Hospitality, which has about 10 or 11 hotels here in town. In fact, the head of MH Hospitality, Dan Merrick, was on our show a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, he was.
And we have learned that MH Hospitality is going to, or has big plans for a hotel property that for many years was kind of like a venue, a destination, an institution in our city.
One of the few convention center hotels in Omaha, 72nd and Grover, the Holiday Inn Convention Center, the big pool that people went to, and as a active Future Business Leaders of America and president at Westside High School, I spent a few days a year there.
So when you're in high school, the convention was held there for FBLA.
Absolutely, yeah, and the kids from across the state, and we got rowdy, I tell you, and
but all that aside,
finally we have a lot of different options and things like that, and what became the Ramada Inn, they are finally taking that down and redeveloping it and right-sizing it and having a mixed-use development with, I believe, a bank, some drive-through restaurants, strip centers, and then some Class A apartments, which are going to be really cool. And so we'll have more information for people on this show, but over the next year, that whole thing's going to transform, and that's right next to the dual-branded hotel they're doing a little bit to the north of that site.
Okay, so the deal has not closed yet, but it is scheduled to close at the end of this month. Money is gone hard on that, and a bank financing plan is in place. Basically, MH Hospitality plans to close on that room, which is that hotel, which includes 355 rooms, as well as the old Cocoa Key Indoor Water Park. The plan is for all of it to come down. That will all be scraped, the water park, the hotel, and early plans indicate demand for a $40 to $50 million vertical development. Rumor has it that MH Hospitality has already negotiated future apartment land sales as part of it. That could equate to about 300 to 400 apartments. MH Hospitality would then develop another limited service hotel on the site along with food options. Trenton mentioned the bank. There will be drive-throughs. So big changes. And it looks like some vertical development. It'll be, more than just a couple of stories there. But the old Ramada, the old Holiday Inn Central, as old-timers know it, as Jim Rose likes to say on the Good Morning Show, about ready to go bye-bye. Big redevelopment coming.
Oh, God.
And I had a lot of good memories in that hotel, but that thing was one of the biggest cluster designs.
Right.
Like, if you ever had to find a room in an obscure part of it and you weren't familiar with the place, good luck. So the other big stories this week, we have two others we want to mention. One is the Tower District in Papillion is underway. And this is going to be about an 85-acre or so mixed-use development, northwest corner, 84th and Highway 370 in Papillion. I presume they're calling it the Tower District because the iconic Papillion water tower with the butterfly on it is right there. But Trenton plans call for a walkable development, multifamily, senior living, single-family, retail, office, a community park, connected trails. So this will be another feather in Papillion's cap, and yet another of many, many major mixed-use developments that are underway in the metro area.
Yeah, that 370 corridor is really come into its own over the last 10 years, and most of the land is in developers' hands. This is a large swath of land that, topographically it's not flat, but it's certainly visible and mostly usable. It'll be interesting to see the amenities and what type of services come there to complement Shadow Lake on 72nd and 370, and then where the hospital is on the other corner, and it'll be neat.
And then finally, Creighton University has broken ground officially on the C.L. Werner Center for Health Science Education. This will be a 130,000 square foot, 5-story building on the northwest corner of the campus. So picture the southeast corner of North Freeway and Cumming Street. So if you're coming from south or west and you're coming to Eppley International Airport, you get off on the Cumming Street exit. It's right there to your right. This will be a very substantive building. The architectural renderings look very attractive. But nice thing for Creighton University, and yet another major construction project.
It's really their new medical school building, right?
Yeah, but they also have Allegiant Bergen Mercy Hospital, Creighton University Medical Center, where a lot of that takes place. But yeah, from what I've read from the Creighton University press release, it sounds like some basic med school classes will take place there. And then it's also my understanding that some undergraduate health sciences education programs would be there as well.
Clarence Werner is really driven.
Yeah, and very philanthropic. So
thank you.
The community appreciates that. And that is your News of the Week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They know mortgages. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Hey, later in the program, we're going to talk about a new residential development called the Flatiron District in downtown Omaha. But before we get to that, we're going to be talking about Midtown Crossing. Great part of the city that is undergoing a lot of renewal. You're going to learn all about that. Joe Schmidt and Molly Skold from Midtown Crossing will be with us. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Did you catch that?
What? Driven? Yeah. Hey, Delaney, did Molly already call in?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Molly,
I'll
call
send
us.
her a note, tell her we're ready. We are ready for you.
Do I wear these or not?
Only if you want to feel like a real radio guy.
But you want to hear Molly, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to
Oh, yeah.
hear Molly.
Sorry about that. Sorry for
I'm so used to when we have an in-person, they ask that, people ask that all the time.
Yeah,
And so that's my pat answer, only you want to feel like a real radio guy.
Yeah, we're all right here. And, oh yeah, Molly, forget.
Yeah, we have Molly. If we didn't have Molly, you didn't have to worry.
Okay.
Thanks, Molly.
Good morning, Grow Omaha. May I please have your first name?
Something tells me it's Molly. Or not. It could be like a psychotic. You. I don't want to say anything too inappropriate in front of the cameras.
Especially about our listeners.
But you wouldn't believe some of the nutcases that call in.
Okay, I will put you on hold and connect you with the guy that does it. One moment.
That must be Molly.
Yeah.
Not nuts.
Yeah.
Is it Molly?
Good morning, Grow Omaha. May I please have your
Not
first
nuts,
name?
exuberant.
Let's just say,
perfect. I'll let them know
it's a
the
good
other
thing
one,
we have a
okay?
screener because every
so much.
2 months we do a call-in show.
Okay, so
and we
Molly's on the second line, but the first guy is like super angry. He's like, I've tried signing up for the newsletter and I can't figure it out. So
tell him to send an email to news@growomaha.com and
Got it.
we'll manually put him on there.
And he can see, and also if he goes to growma.com, he can see the newsletter.
I think he's older.
Okay.
I'm confused.
And give him Trenton's address if he wants to have an in-person meeting.
Usually
Alright,
crazy
thank you for
callers
holding.
call for
Sorry
Jeff.
about that. Have you tried emailing
I
news
did.
at
They're usually
growomaha.com?
beautiful women too. Oh, or maybe not.
It's radio. They
No
all
worries.
are.
Yeah.
Sending an email to news@growomaha.com. Okay, and what's your email
One
address?
of the things that makes me laugh the most in the years that we've been doing
He goes
this
like, I don't have an email.
is when we meet people for the first time, they're long-time listeners, just the look of disappointment on their faces when they see what we look like. It's always just kind of like,
All right, perfect. I will
And my favorite is when they say,
Jeff and Trenton
"I
are the ones
pictured
that
you
actually sent out
different."
the newsletter. They didn't have a chance to
Yeah.
now, but they will
What if
get
they
to that
could-
list.
I
okay?
understand.
What if they come into the room and they expect like the
Thanks.
grandiose,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like the herd,
Joe,
the
what are you
herd
saying about
thing
it?
is like,
Correct. Yep.
oh, we're expecting like, you know,
and then like
the beautiful,
you got some
You betcha.
woodwork that's been here since the 50s.
yeah,
Yep,
Um,
you bet.
I've
Thanks
I've
for
always
the
said
beautiful speaker up there that's gonna come down one day
Yeah.
and crash on your head and kill you.
it seems to
Jeez,
have,
you're a little dark.
seems to have something dripping off of it right now.
5 seconds.
I like to call this the Lyle Brimser studio because I'm sure it was here when Lyle Brimser was here.
I tell people that the radio takes off 40 pounds.
And welcome back to the show. Glad that you have joined us. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha News Radio 1110 KFAB, brought to you by NAI, NP Dodge, Commercial Real Estate, and D&M Roofing. Hey, we just had a caller phone into the studio saying that he was having trouble signing up for the new newsletter. If you want to sign up for that, just go to growomaha.com, click Market Report, fill out the form, and send it in. If for some reason it's not working or hasn't worked for you, which, you know, based on different computer systems, sometimes that happens, your backup plan is just to simply send your email address to news@growomaha.com. If you just send it to news@growomaha, we'll get you on there. We've had several hundred people sign up for that just in the last few weeks, and it's really going well. People are loving it.
And make sure that if you've signed up and you're not getting it in a week, make sure that you add news@growomaha.com to your address book. Sometimes if your Outlook has it, it won't count it as spam. Hard to believe that people would ever think that anything we send out is spam.
Yeah, frankly, that's galling, but it does happen. At any rate, we are going to talk about one of the most exciting real estate developments that has hit Omaha in modern history, and that is Midtown Crossing. It's right there, appropriately in Midtown, by the Mutual of Omaha headquarters. And from Midtown Crossing, we have Joe Schmidt and Molly Skold. Joe and Molly, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us here. Appreciate it.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Well, this is an exciting time to talk about Midtown Crossing because there are a lot of new things in the works. And, like a lot of developments, projects, destinations, you guys had to go through the pandemic, which was not easy. But it seems like things are in pretty good shape now that we're heading closer to normalcy.
No, it's actually really moving in the right direction. It's amazing how the the pandemic ends up stopping everything, slowing everything down. But our retailers at Midtown Crossing have been excessively adept at change and making movements and things of that nature. So it's really on the positive side right now. We're pretty happy with where everything's going.
And I saw the announcement that Alamo Drafthouse Cinema is reopening.
Yes. So they are scheduled for this summer. They're looking at reopening. There's a couple of financial things that they're working out with the federal government and the different types of things that they can and can't do with their corporate headquarters. I'm sure you probably saw the corporate Alamo ended up filing for bankruptcy, so it kind of slowed things down a little bit. But no, they're scheduled for sometime this summer, opening back up.
Now we just need Hollywood to start making movies again.
Yeah, to say the least.
That would be nice. Hey, Molly, one of the things we want to touch on first is something that our listeners are always eager to know, and that is new restaurants. We have a couple of brand new restaurants coming to Midtown Crossing. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, we sure do. We're so excited. Later this month, we'll be excited to welcome Smoke and Oak Pizza. That is on the east end of the development where the former Della Costa was. Smoke and Oak Pizza, those guys are absolutely on fire. They're doing an excellent job. I had a 2 or 3 hour meeting with them yesterday, and honestly, their grand opening, they're going to be doing some exciting things like giving away some free stuff, so we're going to love that. You know, honestly, in 10 years, that is the number one concept that we've been asked for is pizza, pizza, pizza. So we're so excited to open them up. The other one is Pamas, and Josh Martinez is doing a great job. It's a Latin concept. It's such a great story, fits so well into the neighborhood. He was inspired by his grandmother and is doing a great job on this Latin type cuisine, and that will be in the former Black Oak Grill space in Turner Park. So he'll open first part of June, and then we've got Anderson O'Brien took over a larger space in the former Hut space. We've got Chase Bank opening, and then we've got some few surprises. So that, along with Proof and Ray's moving over closer to the Farnham Street corridor, really makes it for the center of gravity. So we're very excited.
Do you have a full lineup for the park in the center there of entertainment and activities?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question. It's funny because, you know, we were going to celebrate 10 years, believe it or not, when COVID hit, and we pushed everything back. But hard to believe, and I think, Jeff, you referenced this when we first got on, 10 years that we've been up and running, and so much has happened, and we've learned so much, and it's amazing. But when we first started, we had 6 events, and in 2019, we had 150 events in the park, and in 2020, obviously, we were back down to hardly any. But this year, we're already up to almost 130 events. So people are really wanting to get back to life and a new sense of normalcy and get outside. And, you know, this week alone, I had 7 requests for park events. So people are really wanting to come back and get back, you know, get back with their friends and their neighborhoods and their coworkers and, you know, get back to life.
Joe, I want to go a little bit deeper in the restaurants that Molly just mentioned. Smoke and Oak is actually a national concept, correct?
Correct.
And so this is the Omaha location. They have many others.
Right. This is the Omaha location. It is actually a wood-fired pizza concept. So it's not your Domino's pizza. It's actually a very nice gourmet pizza. And one of the things that they're incorporating that the other places have not, but now they're actually moving it into their national look, is they're actually having a beer wall where it's a self-served beer that you can go through and you get your little key card and you go down and you pull which one you want. So that's something that they're bringing here, and the corporate loved it so much they're actually going to start incorporating with others. So I believe they've got almost 20 to 25 different beers that are going to be there, about 5 or 6 different wines. So they're really excited about that.
So there's a wall of sound and a wall of beer.
That's right.
And then I want to go a little bit more because on Restaurant Talk, Molly mentioned Proof and Ray's. Those are two existing businesses in Midtown Crossing that are moving into the former Crave space. What can you tell us about those?
So one of the things that we're actually doing is we're moving all the retail closer together over on Farnham Street, because one of the things that we have had over the time frame is we've actually had demand for office space. And so we're taking where Cantina Laredo used to be, where Ray's used to be, where Proof is right now, and they'll be moving. We're converting that to office. And believe it or not, there's a strong demand for 3,000 to 5,000 square foot office spaces. The large corporate offices are still a little bit concerned, but the smaller ones, if everybody can look at each other and do the vertical head nod that they're all comfortable going back to work, they're all going back to work. And so there's been quite a bit of demand for that. So we're actually just filling a void that's there for unique office space in a new area. Very interesting, especially since you can be in the office and then you look at the park and things of that nature.
Well, the amenities for office users, they can do everything they want to, from grocery store to gym and everything else right there.
Correct. It's all right there too.
And they can
to
live
happy
there.
Hour. Correct.
Yeah,
I wonder how many
I
people
think it'll be
actually
a desirable place for an
have
office.
a condo or an apartment, Jeff, and they can live on Midtown Crossing campus. Basically, there's really no reason unless I guess you don't have a hospital yet. But
So you're
close
saying
enough.
It's right up the street.
get a condo or an apartment, lease some space in the office area that is going in where the retail used to be on the north side,
Yeah.
and then have dinner at Smoke and Oak or Pa Moss or one of the other places, and finish the night at Proof.
Yeah, and then
There you go.
have your child.
Sign me up, Molly.
You can have your child's wedding
you
there,
go.
outside or inside. And
Yeah, because there is an event venue.
That's right. The Empire Room can hold up to about 400 individuals, and we have quite a few weddings that are actually in the park this summer.
Guests can register. You can stay at the Element.
It's perfect.
Have a block of rooms.
It's a one-stop shop.
We're talking with Joe Schmidt and Molly Skold from Midtown Crossing. Go ahead, Molly.
I was going to say the residential. When we first started building condos and presenting it to the Omaha community, this was something new to Omahans, right? And now we're almost at 90% sold. But I think the more interesting story is that people are buying condos, and then we have an owner that bought a condo for her parents. We have a condo owner that bought the condo across the hallway so he could have a home office across the hallway. We have, homeowners that buy another condo because they want their children to have one. So the lifestyle is what sells this place. And I think the urban core is the greater story. What's going on in the urban core? And people want to live in the urban core. And it's safe, and it's exciting, and it's accessible, and it's close to so many things. And that's really why it's a great story.
Molly.
Did you want to talk about the sorry, Jeff?
That's fine. Go
Do
ahead.
you want to talk about buy one condo, get the other one at regular price?
Trenton's available as a marketing consultant if you need him.
Yes.
Fees are reasonable. I want to go back to one thing you said earlier, Molly, when you were talking about the new restaurants. You said, quote, and a couple of other surprises. Now, one would presume when you say surprises that you couldn't say some details right now. But can you give us a hint? Can we play 20 questions? What are we talking about here?
And
with
they're
these,
good surprises, hopefully.
These surprises.
Well, the nature when you do this, what you want to do, and what the area demands is that you have an eclectic offering. You don't always have the same thing. So that I can tell you that the retailers that we are in discussion with now are not similar to ones we already have. There are differences so that we continue to build on this eclectic neighborhood community. And that's ultimately what the neighborhood demands. And it's exciting. It's fun. It's fun to work with retailers who want to offer something different than we already have.
Okay, Joe, as we wrap up here and we look forward to the future, where do you see Midtown Crossing going, changing, evolving over the next several years?
So over the next several years, where it's really going is smaller retailers, more eclectic restaurants, more different things going on, more different offerings than where we've had in the past, where we've had several large offerings. Now we've got multiple small ones, and actually getting more of that work lifestyle in there as well. When we start getting the office spaces going, the condo sales, like Molly said, we're 90%. The way that we're going is we'll probably be sold out in about a year to 2 years.
And apartments have always been full.
The apartments have always been full. They've always been 98, 99%. Really strong demand for apartments. And I think you see that up and down the area, the Midtown area as well, in the urban core, that you see that demand for the apartments.
And parking's never been an issue, free parking for so many hours.
Right. We've got the 3 hours of validated parking for free when you go through. But, when you start talking about lifestyle, you start talking about events, you start talking about things in the park, it really is just kind of that place to go, to feel comfortable, to feel safe, and to be entertained in multiple different ways.
Well, folks, if you haven't been down there for a while, go back to Midtown Crossing. Like we said, 2 new restaurants coming, perhaps more. Chase, Bank Open, Proof, and Ray's moving to new locations, and all sorts of fun stuff. Jazz on the Green coming back. Joe Schmidt, Molly Skold, we appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on all the success you guys are having at Midtown Crossing.
Hey, thanks for having us, you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Our pleasure. Joe Schmidt and Molly Skold from Midtown Crossing. We're going to take our middle of the show break, and when we come back from that, we'll have our real estate development spotlight, and we're going to bring on Neeraj Agrawal and John Meyer to talk about the Flatiron District downtown. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Good stuff.
Wrapped all around this thing.
Yeah.
I was like, there we go.
Yeah, that was a nice interview.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I better.
You can link
I just
it.
realized I am coming over that cold,
like
so I
it.
probably shouldn't do the handshakes. Oh, yeah, we got to get a picture.
Picture
We got
please.
we got
Get a
video
picture.
and audio now.
Video
Yeah.
and audio.
Yeah.
It's never been done before.
Do you want to see where I'm sitting?
Probably better.
Oh man, now we
Because
got
the microphone's up top.
Leave it on us.
Ah, yes, much better. Thank you. One,
You're really warm,
two,
Jeff.
three.
Thank you.
Who's warm?
Those aren't pillows.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's your ED reference.
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yep. All right, thanks, guys.
Joe, it's
Have
been
a
a
good
good
one.
one. Thanks
fun.
again for your sponsorship. We
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right,
Thanks
guys,
very
come
much.
on in. By the way, I don't know if you guys know Joe Schmidt.
I like the Midtown Crossing area.
Yeah, thank you.
It's exciting.
Yeah, pretty fun project for sure. Yeah, but we're glad to go to the town crossing for sure. I mean, pizza place is always welcome.
That's
You
good.
get like this right here.
Morning. You guys are on video and audio in here, so
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, absolutely.
Neeraj, how you doing?
Hey, good
Welcome.
to see ya. How you been?
Go on in here,
John,
John.
we see you every day.
Good to see
Yeah, we'll still shake your hand even
Sorry, bud.
though you're just family. Okay. So when you guys talk, we find when you share a microphone, it's better to stand.
Yeah,
Because what'll happen is if you're sitting there, you'll be too far away. And so when you talk right there. And Neeraj, if you're going to be standing there, you have to be especially careful because your tendency is going to be to look at us while you talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you want to be right in on the mic. Okay.
It helps if you put your hand in each other's opposite back pocket.
Absolutely. I mean, that's how we usually walk in. Absolutely, absolutely.
So you stay close.
That's how we give
together.
that's how we give tours. Absolutely, absolutely.
You do not want to touch any part of your body to that sponge. This right here.
What sponge? Ah, that.
Oh,
the
yeah.
microphone.
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 looking behind
Basically, the trick is to get as close as you physically can to
Yeah.
it without touching it.
Touching it, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm
And
not kidding
also,
actually.
so
Yeah.
you're in the camera because there's another camera over there. Stay behind that the window pane here.
Stand
So,
over there.
over there.
We have,
Yes.
we have a lot of rules
Because-
here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, we're getting all of it.
Yes, as long as you don't
And now
go
I put my hand in his
beyond
pocket.
this, you're
Absolutely.
good. Thank
Okay,
you.
so the microphone, the hand in the pocket, behind there. So you guys got it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's fun.
Yeah. And for FCC regulations, also don't say shit.
Okay, so everything else is fair game. All right. Guess
So for the record, you're
You can
still
leave that on there
party,
'cause it's
but you just
uncut.
weren't
That's it?
involved in the black.
Well,
word?
Correct.
there are some other
It's a
words.
whole-
You didn't go to the opening.
I think
But-
George Carlin said there were
later
7
in the day.
words.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
7 words you can't say on
Yeah, so some
television or
projects
radio.
we'll work on all three of us together. Some just don't.
And I
Who's
know
the third guy?
I love
Tom,
George
Mike,
Carlin.
Peter. So Mike Peter was with Tom at very first. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's in the brewery business. He's got this major and a couple others actually.
So,
If you ever left the company, then he'd peter out.
Huh? Absolutely, yeah, I love it.
So you guys first started working together on because you're representing him on the Redfield building.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And standard building.
Okay.
Yeah, standard as well.
And is there going to be commercial space in the Flatiron building?
Correct, yeah,
Okay.
the first floor, yeah. The
Okay.
goal is basically 4 commercial bays.
Okay.
One about 6,000 to 7,000 square feet of fitness, specialty fitness.
Okay.
Yoga, Pilates, bar kind of thing. And then the other 3 would be restaurants.
Okay.
And the goal would be all of those would be minority-owned businesses or women-owned businesses ideally.
Okay.
That's kind of the target there.
Fun,
All right,
exciting
I want to
rooftop.
apply. Thanks for that.
The rooftop bar.
Absolutely, that'd be nice. We looked at that early on, and a little too expensive for that building.
Is it?
Paraguay,
Yeah.
Glenn, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah,
Pretty
no,
cool.
we'd have to check that out for sure.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just kind of go through, we'll talk about it. We'll ask you the basic who, what, where, when, why, how
Yeah,
questions,
absolutely.
all easy stuff. And then maybe we could throw in a little something about the other two, but the standard building. Now, the standard building will be incorporated into this, won't it?
Kind of the overall, kind of master redevelopment, yeah,
Okay.
but that'll be a separate market rate development.
Is the
Oh,
building
okay.
across the street?
Yep. Yeah.
So
the one
Flatiron
at H
District
and
Housing
Alley.
parking?
There's a little parking. It's right in front of the Flatiron Cafe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Flatiron will be mixed income?
Yeah,
So
correct.
some market rate,
Some market rate,
subsidized?
some light tech. Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
okay.
So I mean that's the kind of goal going forward. We found with public policy, mix it up because 100% affordable.
Sounds like some other
sometimes.
projects.
You're not involved with the Flatiron building, right?
Oh no, that's just Dicon's group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look for a restaurant, looks like.
Yeah. I think they're getting close hopefully.
That's too bad that restaurant.
Yeah, it was a great
I
one.
always
It was
love
kind
the
of
Flatiron.
the
Yeah, but
go-to for
yeah.
theaters.
It's great.
You can pick up at the Flatiron restaurant and take it home. And just
Yeah, exactly.
The presentation was.
Well, those are exactly the types of
Appreciate it. I
restaurants
like
that.
it.
There you go. The median.
Where'd you get that?
Are you scared of Trenton, or do you want me to stand over there?
No, I'm fine. I'm good here.
And if you, John, if you touch that minion during the show,
It'll squeal.
something bad will
Be
happen.
visual, yeah, exactly.
Is that what the alarm is?
Thanks, mother.
That's what happened.
No, because you're in the building. Yeah. I think it something with your ankle bracelet affected it.
Yeah. NSA is on me.
Say that in front of his client.
Exactly.
Let me.
Jeez.
We had an
Out
open
loud.
disclosure
You
at
don't
the
say
end.
that in front of
Yeah,
his
You already
client.
noticed I'm not wearing any socks.
Exactly.
That's all good.
You're showing a lot of ankle.
You got it flaunted.
There you go, exactly.
If you have it.
We've been working on it over COVID, yeah, absolutely.
It's
Just-
not bragging if you got it.
Exactly.
Losing the cankles.
Exactly. Ankle weights every day.
So, Neeraj, did I see something on the planning board or somewhere that you were going to do a substantial building at 38th and Dodge? Is that you?
38. No,
That's not you?
No.
Okay. There was some 7 or 8, 9-story building at 38th and Dodge, and I was thinking it was you. but
How about
it's not.
Elkhorn by?
Yeah, that's us. So yeah, we're doing that. So that's I was telling John the row house project. So we got 2 market rate row
That's
house
right on
projects.
204.
Yeah, 204th and Main. So we bought that 17 acres. 6 of those acres are going to be 101 market rate row houses. All
Jeez.
kind of, yeah, so it's a HUD deal. We did actually a lot
Is that
for
by
rate.
CHI or?
Yep.
the-
So we actually we sold that lot to CHI.
Okay.
And then we have the other 2 lots we're looking to do.
That's
Ideally-
17 acres up there?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you'll be behind CHI?
Yep. So we got 2 lots. That'll be basically 101 units.
You do commercial up there too? Or?
Yep. So
Yeah,
beyond CHI, I think the goal is other medical dental office, and then maybe we're thinking kind of like a mixed use, maybe kind of a dog bar concept, like Mike Peters doing it, and a little bohemian, just kind of a neighborhood kind of feel.
Interesting.
And then we have the sister project is 92 units at Deer Creek, 120th the military, which is under construction right now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so
I
that's
saw
the
it.
basic
Where is
exact
that?
same design. So 120th the military right on that hill.
Oh, so you'll do that
And
at
then
Elkhorn?
what,
then.
Yeah.
what in Leavenworth are you doing the 100 and
134. That's the
134
affordable.
units.
So that'd be pure affordable. Yeah. So we'll keep it busy.
134 Leavenworth?
No, no, 27th level.
Oh,
We're doing
oh, yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about
134
that.
units.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we're pretty
Save
busy
some
with-
for everybody else.
I know,
When
right?
does the Leavenworth project
15
start?
seconds.
Okay, thanks. Diane.
Yeah, it's September, I think.
September, okay. All righty. It's getting real, people.
I know.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid here with you from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate. We're also brought to you by D&M Roofing, the most outstanding commercial and residential roofing contractor in all of Nebraska. Hey, and we want to throw out some information with you right now, or to you, as part of the Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight brought to you by Noddle Companies. And one of Noddle's projects is Exarban Village. Trenton, I was there for lunch a couple days ago. I had lunch at Oklahoma Joe's, which is always a good place.
Oh, yeah, right next to Pickleman's.
Beautiful day. There's all sorts of people walking around, and the Interrail Plaza was super busy. People were using the dog park, dogs too. And on the other side, you've got the sand volleyball court, and it's kind of interesting. There's going to be a sand volleyball league starting up on June 1st. This is going to be big time. I think you're going to see some.
I just want to name one of the teams.
I think you're going to see some vicious competition there at the Exarban Village sand volleyball competition. Also, I happened to notice while I was walking around a store called Status, pre-loved luxury handbags. We've never mentioned that on the show before.
A lot of markup in those handbags.
I'm not part of their target market, and neither are you, but the store looked pretty cool to me. So you might want to check that out.
It's not handbags and carry-alls?
If you are into handbags, luxury handbags, you can check out Stratus. It looks like a beautiful store. It's in the HDR building. And that is your commercial real estate development spotlight, brought to you by Noddle Companies, noddlecompanies.com.
I do want to congratulate our illustrious mayor, Gene Stothert, for a momentous third term.
Yeah, congratulations to Mayor Stothert and all 7 city council election winners as well. Hey, we're going to go look at downtown right now. The Flatiron District is under development, and we have with us the developer, Neeraj Agrawal of Clarity Development, and then our own John Meyer of NAI NP Dodge, who's representing the property. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Jeff and Trenton.
Absolutely. Well, this is really exciting.
We're contractually obligated to have John on, but Neeraj, we welcome you to the show.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
This will be at 18th Street between Howard and St. Mary's Avenue. Multifamily mixed-use project called the Flatiron District. Give us a little overview of what the project's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So really what we're looking to do here is do a 5-story new construction project. Right at 18th and Howard. So presently it's a parking lot, and this looked like an ideal infill development. So really the goal is first story would be 4 commercial bays. Really one would be about 7,000 square feet. Fitness really meant to fill in the gap that Pinnacle caused with the Scalar building closing. So it'd be specialty fitness with ideally yoga, Pilates bar, and other specialty classes. And then 3 restaurants, really breakfast, lunch, really what's missing in that area. And kind of provide dining options for the people at the courthouse, City Hall, and the May Institute. Then also the top floors would be mixed income apartment units. So really the first mixed income project downtown we've seen. That would be a mix of 120 units, studios, 1 and 2 bedrooms. So it'd be exciting to finally see this come to fruition because that area has been pretty quiet for a while.
You mean we can go do yoga and Pilates at a bar?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah,
no one ever told me that was part of the option. I'm going to have to rethink
absolutely. We'll sign you up for day one.
Yeah, that's great.
The more you drink, the better you'll get at the yoga.
Yeah.
So, Neeraj, how big will this Flatiron building be? Actually, and I understand it's more than one building. So give us a little bit of an idea of the size, the scope, the breadth of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So really this project at 18 Howard really consists of 2 buildings that'll be treated as separate projects. So really the main one at 18th and Howard is 5 stories, about 120,000 gross square feet, and just, again, a mix of about 14,000 square feet of commercial on that first floor, and then just units above on floors 2 through 5. And then we have the sister building we're going to be building at right at 18th and St. Mary's. So it's currently a parking garage, a 2-story white parking garage we'll demolish and eventually develop into another 5-story building. That'll be 2 floors of parking, about 100 stalls, and then about 60 apartments that'll also be mixed income.
The first building was known as the Redfield building, right?
Yeah, that's another project we're doing in the neighborhood. So yeah, it's perfect kind of segue into we have.
Oh, that's the third building.
Yeah, so we're
wow.
pretty busy in that neighborhood. So we actually finished the redevelopment of the Redfield, which is the old Buick building, and that's just 3 floors of office. 2 floors is kind of a co-working office company that we are affiliated with that I run, Modus, that's focused on minority businesses and women-owned businesses, attorneys and other small businesses. Top floor would be for 2 office tenants, and the first floor would be a restaurant and coffee shop. So you'll find a good mix of uses in the neighborhood with the Redfield and this 18 and Howard project coming along with the standard building, which we'll develop next year as well.
Neeraj, you mentioned this will be the first, or certainly one of the first, mixed income properties, but we hear other developments in the downtown urban core might start to go that direction. What exactly does that mean? How does that work in a nutshell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Different colored door. I know this one. different colored doors for depending on what income you are, right?
Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely. Most people don't hit it on the first try, but that was pretty spot on. Yeah.
Never would they do that.
But no, really, I mean, the goal is here. It's a mix of rent restricted units at lower rents, so these affordable housing units, and then more traditional market rate units that are really at standard market rate rent you see in the area. And really, the goal for us, candidly, it's a public policy goal. We've done hundreds of units of affordable housing with 30 Metro and Sorensen and these various other projects. And we found that there's a lot of stigma with 100% affordable housing. So we try to combat that with doing mixed income, both market rate and light tech, which is affordable housing, because we find there's a lot more interest in that. And you can produce a higher end product that'll look candidly more like a market rate project that you would see in the Blackstone.
And for the record, you can't tell which one of your neighbors are lower income versus regular income. It's just a way to it's good public policy.
Exactly, correct. Yeah, there's no distinguishing mark. It's really just something our property management company at Selden would be aware of when they're kind of reviewing tenants. But yeah, every unit would be the exact same. So that's kind of the beauty of it. You have people, the service industry making $30,000, $40,000 a year downtown, living with people who are making closer to 100. So it's nice that they have that hybrid, that mix of people in one development for sure.
Neeraj, what are we talking about in terms of timeline? When might we see demolition of the parking garage? When might we see, I can't talk, new construction coming up out of the ground?
Yeah, so that's actually the fun part. It's just coming up fairly quickly. So we're, as we speak, bidding out that primary building at 18th and Howard. So our goal is to start construction on both buildings, all 180 units, and the commercial space between probably October and December of this year.
Okay,
so
coming up
pretty quickly, absolutely.
Now, the standard building is kind of part of the project. It's a separate building right there. How will the main Flatiron District building that you're constructing interface or complement that existing standard building and the existing Redfield building?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. That's something we really considered when we're doing this new construction project, is tying into the Redfield and the standard, which again, we'll be developing into 40 market rate apartments and then 2 commercial bays on the first floor. But really how it ties in is this 18 Howard building. We're going to actually utilize a portion of the standard parking lot and convert that more into outdoor seating for what will be a restaurant at the standard space, but also in an outdoor dog park area. So the goal is to kind of integrate that standard building and that parking lot into this larger development. So you've got more of a walkable neighborhood kind of feel. So that was the goal, to kind of transform that parking lot by the standard more into green space that could be used for dining and just outdoor activities.
Okay. Trenton?
John Meyer, how much commercial space are they talking about?
Well, currently right now we have we have about 10,000 square feet of office space on the 4th floor that we're looking to fill. It's a really unique space. It's got very tall ceilings, and the really cool thing about I should mention that building has is ample parking. There are 2 parking
Which
garages.
building are we talking about now?
So we're talking about the Redfield building.
Okay,
down there. So there's about 10,000 square feet on the 4th
That's
floor.
the white
there.
building
The old Buick building.
Yep.
The old Buick plant. And then on the first floor, we're actively seeking out a coffee shop for kind of a kiosk concept there. And then there's an additional 6,000 to 7,000 square feet of retail restaurant space that we're trying to do there. And then just down the street, we're kind of looking for like a little boutique, bodega type of deal to go into the first floor of the standard. About roughly, what is that, Neeraj? About 1,500 square feet?
About 1,500. And then the second bay is actually kind of a 3,500 square foot bay that we've talked about. I think would be a great kind of addition of a Brazilian steakhouse or something unique that's not downtown. With the cafe, Flatiron Cafe out right now, and I think a new tenant hopefully coming up soon. I think we'll be hoping to add another kind of dining option for the theater crowd there. So the goal is something higher end, but something maybe that Omaha doesn't have. So a Brazilian steakhouse is kind of the goal there.
Yeah, less than a minute left, but Neeraj, I want to just throw one other question at you. You're also doing the multifamily building at 27th and Leavenworth. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that project, it's kind of part of our focus on affordable housing. So that's 134 units, all new construction on what's currently just a parking lot. And it'll be 5 stories. BVH is finishing up design in about the next 30 to 60 days. And then we'll bid that out. So that one should actually start construction too by September or October. So you'll be seeing a lot of activity in the last half of the year for sure.
Well, very exciting stuff. A lot of activity in that part of downtown. Neeraj Agrawal and John Meyer, we appreciate you both joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Our pleasure. Neeraj Agarwal of Clarity Development and John Meyer of NAI NP Dodge. Going to take our final break, and then it will be the lightning round. Lots of things in a short period of time. You're listening to Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha, brought to you by D&M Roofing and NAI NP Dodge on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
So was the Redfield building?
Good stuff, guys.
That where
Well played.
Ernest Lead had the Buick dealership?
That was it.
Ernest Lead from Lead Foundation?
Yeah.
So that was his?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so it's,
But he made a ton of money out in Vegas. He was
Oh, really?
an economist as well. And he went out to Vegas and figured out where all the off-ramps would be for the interstate and everything.
So it's like the lead center.
Everything Lead.
Like
Like,
down in Lincoln, the lead center.
Christina Hickson, he never married and had no kids. Christina Hickson was his administrative assistant or whatever.
Oh, we need to get a picture real fast, don't we?
And she's run the whole thing forever.
yeah.
Let's get a
Very
picture,
cool.
fellas. I got to keep this on so I can hear how we're coming.
No worries.
Trent, you sitting, standing.
Yeah, we're good.
Emily wanted to make sure we had a picture with you in it. She said you love pictures.
Oh, perfect. Like,
There you go.
one, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
Perfect.
Right as we're. So are these all projects all done under Clarity, or do you?
It's a mix. So Clarity is basically developer.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these will be more just family owned. So we have family ownership and then outside investors too. So it'll be a mix. Like the Elkhorn products are mostly just family owned and are outside investors too.
Okay.
So it's a mix. Yeah, it's been interesting. Yeah, the
Too
lessons.
far.
Big stuff in Sioux City. Too.
Yeah. We did.
Are you married?
No, not quite yet. But the Badger building we're doing in Sioux City.
No time to get married.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe one
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
Badger
exactly.
building in Sioux City, though, downtown.
12 story
stories.
historic.
You're building a 12-story
No,
building?
we're renovating it.
Renovated 12-story.
We actually, it's kind of a crazy story. It's a 12-story building we bought for $1 million from the city because the prior developer from California went under. He spent $5 million on it before he went under.
Good God.
Renovating it, abated 8 of the 10 floors, fixed 2 of the 3 elevators. So it's kind of a dream. We're just doing 70 apartments and commercial space. So it's
That's like walking into
oh,
a gold
I think you're walking into a $6 million building for $1 million. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And putting a lot more in.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Okay,
See you
guys,
later.
thank you.
You bet.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Everything's okay with the other stations? But
It's the lightning round brought to you by Turner Construction. Turner Construction knows construction like nobody else. They have been building for the future for a long time. Turner Construction, of course, famous for the Papillion Data Center here locally.
Sarpy County Data
That's
Center
right.
now.
But all sorts of projects underway. They have their Omaha office in the Mastercraft building in North Downtown, and we commend them for all of the work Turner Construction has been doing to build up the number of workers and the talent in the construction trades. And we appreciate Turner Construction for being the sponsor of the Lightning Round. Elkhorn Athletics is planning to build an outdoor sports complex at 264th and Ida Street. This will be on 142 acres. Phase 1's $23 million project calls for 8 turfed baseball softball diamonds, 4 turfed soccer football fields, restrooms, concessions, parking for 1,500 vehicles. The soccer football fields will be completed in 22, baseball softball diamonds in 2023. Future phases call for more multi-purpose fields and 8 additional baseball and softball diamonds. And if you have had anything to do with youth sports in your life, you know we have a severe shortage of fields, especially good tournament quality fields. So this project is quite welcomed. And looks like Elkhorn Athletics will be partnering with MD1 for naming rights, but can't wait for that because youth sports bring in so much out-of-town money. Trenton, we have new tenants at Rockbrook Village. I'll just list them for you.
Okay.
One is called Suma Fitness and Wellness, Mixon's Rolled Ice Cream, Neurotherapy Center of Nebraska, and RSVP, which sells stationery and invitations. The fifth one is a place called the Pelvic Physio. I have no idea what the hell that is, but
That's probably best.
it sounds unique. At any rate, the other new business we want to mention this week is the Quasar Drive-In Theater. I had the opportunity to go to Media Night on Wednesday, and this is located at 300th and Highway 36. So it's out there.
Pack a lunch.
It's northwest of Valley, but it can accommodate more than 500 cars. It has an 85-foot wide screen. There's a building in the middle. It reminds me of the drive-in theaters you would go to when we were kids.
Golden Spike, baby.
Great concession stand in there. I mean, with all sorts of hot food, and it was just a fun place to go. I'm going to bring the kids and the family back a couple times this summer. For the first night, they showed American Graffiti in Greece, classic drive-in movie or drive-in theater movies. But it'll be interesting to see how it does. It's out there, but it is a really cool, fun place.
Excellent.
All righty. Voodoo Taco, Trenton, is going to have another location out west in the former Jones Brothers West building.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They're at 25th and Farnham, and they've been around for a long time.
Jones Brothers, though, still, of course, has its flagship location at Exarban Village. Coffee news. Starbucks will be building a freestanding restaurant store with drive-through northwest corner of 90th and Fort. And Zen Coffee has opened a second location northwest of 132nd and Center. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, the River City Star and the affiliated Dam Grill and Bar have started up their 2021 season.
Yeah, it's a fun place. That's Cutchall Restaurant Management.
So that's always good entertainment down there, real close to the Gallup campus. The Blackstone building, which is formerly the Kiewit headquarters, has construction bids that are due late this month for renovation of the 4th floor lobby and the 15th level, which is known as the Cloud Room. And, of course, that still is the building where Warren Buffett has his headquarters offices. And that is part of that general Blackstone area that's doing very, very well and has all sorts of construction projects.
I'm excited
planned.
to see the pool open at the Blackstone.
Looks open.
Cottonwood.
Looks
yeah,
open.
I think it is.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by NAI, NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, and D&M Roofing. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right. Thanks, Delaney.
All righty.
Action-packed.
Did it. We got in those 2 interviews. It was busy.
It's in the can.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.